This is Boston Chris of the ETX ROCKS Show, and this is another great episode of ETX Rocks featuring Orlando Williams.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.
Hey guys, Boston Chris here with the #1 resource for independent music in Northeast Texas. It's the ETX ROCKS Show, and it's episode 291, guys. We have the super producer, Orlando Williams, in the house. One of the most well-known masterminds behind the music here in East Texas. Man, how you doing?
I'm blessed, man. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. I just met Orlando for the first time a week ago.
Yep.
It was a week ago Monday. So
Yes.
8 days ago
Yep.
was the first time we actually met in person. And Orlando is the current and reigning 2018 Producer of the Year from the East Texas Music Awards. That had to be quite a shock, right?
I like it. I have it on my desk in the studio, and I still like. That's not real.
Yeah.
it's really.
It's got to be neat, though, because I know you've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
You've worked with
Yeah.
dozens of different artists all
Yeah.
over East Texas and beyond.
Yes, sir.
And every single person I talk to that's worked with you calls you the genius. All different genres of music, right? We're from rap, hip hop, R&B, pop,
Yeah.
country. I mean, I've seen it all come out of your studio.
Yes, sir.
So I wanted to talk with you so bad about your beginnings and the work process and the mind behind all of this great music.
Awesome.
So tell me and our listeners kind of how you got started with a love for music.
Ooh, well, I definitely come from a musical background. My mom plays the keys and she sings. My dad plays the keys and he sings. He
Wow.
plays guitar, a little bit of drums, plays bass. So, I've always grew up around music.
So there's your studio musicians right there, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so, my grandma, everywhere you turn in my family, there's music involved some way or another.
So it had to be a very musical household when you were a
Yes.
youngster, just
Yeah,
always
most-
around it.
Most definitely.
So it would just kind of cultivated that love for the sound of music.
Yes.
But see, a lot of people that are brought up that way end up songwriters or musicians or artists.
Yeah.
Why did you choose the engineering/producing route?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Never really even thought about that. I want to say, well, talking to my mom, she told me you need to learn how to do something besides just work for Walmart. Because I
Yeah.
worked at Walmart at the time, retail.
Yeah.
And so she was like, why don't you just try to play that keyboard over here and see what you can do, Find something that you love and go after it. And so I started fiddling with the keys on my dad's keyboard. And he had I can't even remember the brand of the keyboard, but it could record and everything, sequence and all of that.
Right.
And so my dad was teaching me how to sequence everything, put drums and add whatever instrument
Different
I wanted.
beats
Yes.
and things like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, this is really cool. Taking it one track by track, I hear what I did, and then I could just keep adding. And I believe right at that moment, it's like, man, this would be something very intriguing for me to work on.
Yeah, so I mean, you're kind of really tapping into the creative part of your brain now,
Yes.
and your love of music is kind of feeding that as well.
Yes.
So how quickly did you realize, you're playing with this toy? Really, it's a keyboard, but it's a toy, right?
Yeah.
How quickly did you realize, hey man, what I'm doing here is kind of cool. Like people might pay me to do this.
Yes.
know?
When I made my first beat with it,
Yeah.
my first instrument, I was so proud of that thing.
Yeah.
Like it was like a prized possession. I was like,
man, I hear beats on the radio, beats everywhere.
Right.
And I was like, but I made that,
Right.
I made that. And I was like, and it sounds really good to me. Like, I think I can do something like this. And, man, it...
So it sounds good to you, right? It
Yeah.
sounds really good to you.
Uh-huh.
When do you take the step to share that with other people, to see if it actually does sound good to other people?
Oh, man. My Uncle Stanley, my Uncle Stanley Cofer, he saw my gift that I had. I showed him my first, but he was one of the very first ones I showed. He was like, man, you're really good at this. You might want to try to, go into this thing. And he helped me get my publishing done and just all the business side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was quick. Like, he heard my music and what I did. And was like, yeah, let's birth that. Let's if you really want to do this, let me help you.
Wow. So it seems like you had the main ingredient is Orlando Williams, but you needed all of these other little ingredients to be added in to make the meal, so to speak.
Yeah, because till this day, I still have a confidence thing.
Yeah.
It's like I put.
That should be out the window now
Yeah.
after last Monday. By God, you've got thousands of fans out there that are voting for you as producer of the year.
That was.
You used to have confidence issues, man. You get that sucker right there on your desk at the studio to remind you of who you are.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? What I find interesting though is, again, we've had a lot of different people on the show that just sweet talk your name as much as you can possibly sweet talk a name. And these guys and girls, we're talking rappers, hip hop artists, pop artists, country artists. So obviously this evolved further than just beats on a keyboard.
Yes.
So where did you learn the acumen needed to record an instrument or an actual drum set or whatever? I mean, how are you learning all this?
YouTube.
Yeah, really?
YouTube.
That's funny.
YouTube and experience. A lot of that I've learned. Because I was just so intrigued by it. YouTube University was my go-to. I would click on videos of other people doing it. I was like, man, okay, so that's how that works. Or don't do this, do do's and don'ts of it.
So you're a product of the 21st century, basically.
Yes. And I mean, I just graduated from Full Sail University.
Nice.
And so...
well, congrats on that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. And so I just felt the need to go get a piece of paper for it, yes, I learned quite a bit, but I already knew a lot of stuff because YouTube taught me a lot of stuff, but I just felt like getting a piece of paper one night.
So what do you like working on more? Do you like the actual in-house music, like music instruments, or is it still the creating the beat or whatever? I mean, because it's two different, completely different things.
Yes. Most
So what do you
definitely.
enjoy doing more?
I would say the creation process. I enjoy somebody bringing something to the table and like, here, make it work kind of thing. Like they ask me for my input kind of thing, and a lot of times it starts out one way and then it ends up a whole nother route.
Right.
And that's, to me, that's like wow. That's a wow moment. Like, wow, it started this way, but it's a whole nother beast right now. And that already.
And that's what a good producer does anyway.
Yeah.
You take a song that's been written, and you hear your own intricacies basically in that song. Maybe you're just adding a little, ooh line or something, just to kind of maybe fill some space in there or whatever. And just something that tiny can completely change the shape of a song.
Yes, most definitely.
And that's important from a production standpoint,
Most
I
definitely.
think.
Yes.
So where are you based out of?
I am Tyler, Texas.
Tyler,
native.
Texas. Born and raised.
Born and raised.
So, wow, that's incredible.
Yes, and I mean, Lindale was like my latter half of my life.
Yeah.
But Lindale, Tyler, I mean, they're the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you're from outside the state of Texas,
Yeah.
Lindale and Tyler, they're right on
neck
each other.
Neck to neck, yeah. So.
And I mean, there's a lot of talent comes out of Lindale, as you
Yes.
know, in the country music field especially.
Miranda
I
Lambert.
mean, Miranda Lambert, Billy Joe.
Billy
I mean,
Joe.
you've got so many different amazing artists coming from there.
Yes, sir.
You've worked with some amazing people too. I'm just going to try to name a few that I can remember off the top of my head. We've got Exalt, the Christian rapper. You got Heather Harper that you're working with currently, I think, right?
Yes.
Cheyenne Reynolds is someone you've worked with.
Most definitely.
And there's so many others.
Yeah, and I can't. And it's crazy because I just looked at my list the other day. I guess I was just trying to open up a folder, and I was like, and then I just saw rows and rows and rows of art. I was like, I didn't realize I worked with this many
Yeah,
people.
you just don't know where the time goes.
Right, you just don't know. Yeah.
So how'd you get that off the ground? So, like, you mentioned, I just started messing with this keyboard. Then your uncle comes along, tries to help you with the business side of things. So now you're basically opening a business. You're opening a recording studio.
Yeah.
So what did you have to do to make other people see the value in Orlando Williams to be able to have clients?
Wow. Well, when I started, I took in this one friend I had. Her name is Britney Harrelson.
Yeah, Britney.
You know Britney?
Absolutely.
amazing.
I was just in a music video with Britney that you
yeah.
produced, my God. See what I mean? It's everything has Orlando's fingerprints on it.
Oh,
But go ahead.
I'm blessed. But yes, I saw her talent on YouTube, of course. I guess I'm showing you my addiction right now. But
you and me both. So
okay, cool. I'm not alone. Okay.
Yeah, not at all.
But I saw her singing. I was like, wow, she can sing. I went to school with her, but had no clue she had a voice like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I messaged her.
Storm too.
Right.
God,
oh my God. Yeah, she's just as good as rapping as she is singing.
Yeah. And
so I was like, wow, I was so intrigued by her talent. And I messaged her. I was like, what do you think about recording? I'm new to this. Don't really know what I'm doing, but hey, I would like to. I feel like I'm confident enough. I watch enough YouTube videos, but I think it's time for me to put some physical, hands-on, to it. And so recorded, man, and that girl came in and recorded the whole album. I want to say a week.
Wow.
I could be wrong, but it was quick. Like she comes in. Her memory is so amazing.
Yeah.
Like she don't never bring in paper or anything. She writes it all up for here, and literally get done with songs in like 10, 15 minutes. And I was like, wow, does everybody do it like this?
Right.
So yeah, it started with her, and then once we put her stuff out, people was like, so you produce Orlando? It was like a wow moment kind of
Working
thing.
retail at Walmart.
Right, yeah. While working at Walmart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's funny. We have that in common as well.
Wow.
I worked at Walmart for almost 5 years.
Wow, it's been like 3 or 4.
Yeah. So yeah, I get that, and when I started in this business, I was still at Walmart as well.
Yes.
And I quit fairly quickly after I was like, hey, this music thing's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I could do this,
Right.
But yeah, it's cool to hear that it was Brittany that you kind of grew
very first
with her.
artist, yes.
Because she's phenomenal.
Yes,
just
she
one
is.
of the really underrated artists in
yeah.
East Texas.
Most definitely.
And hopefully people will recognize how much talent and value is in that girl.
Most
oh
definitely.
my gosh.
Amazing talent.
Yeah, absolutely. and you've kind of grown a niche for yourself in working with artists of that ilk. People that really need a step up.
Right.
Maybe they don't have the money or the know-how to get into a Grammy Award-winning situation at a studio.
Yes.
You have the same talent level, the same everything as that studio.
Wow.
But you're helping an artist like Heather Harper or Cheyenne Reynolds, some of these younger artists that are really trying to get their feet wet in the business. For you, who learned really self-taught from YouTube and all of that stuff, what do you think you can provide for an artist like that?
I can definitely involve my how can I put it? I can involve my interest, my love for. I treat their work as if it's mine, which I mean technically is if I'm producing it, I put everything I have into each and every artist that I record and produce for, and I believe I can just give them. Just all of me. I don't know. I say that in the least cocky way.
Yeah.
But
I know you're a very humble guy. I've only met you once, but like I said, I've heard a lot of stories and a lot of love for you through other people's lips. So, I wanted to see if I could get you to talk a little bit about yourself today because I know that's not your go-to.
Not at all.
But yeah, we had Cheyenne Reynolds here not too long ago, maybe a month or two ago, and she could not get your name out of her mouth. She was so impressed with not just your talent, but your passion.
Yes.
And it's hard to find passionate people that care.
Right.
There's a difference between being passionate in a self-indulgence kind of way.
Yes.
And being passionate about helping other people.
Correct.
And clearly you are the one that wants to help other people.
Yes.
So I wanted to, that's the main reason why I wanted to have you on the show, is that passion level.
Yes.
Because I share that with you.
Awesome.
But Orlando Williams is here in the ETX Rocks living room. First time ever. It's been way too long. It should have happened a lot sooner than now. Episode 291. The reigning 2018 ETX Producer of the Year. Get used to saying that, Orlando. That's you now. That is you. He'll be going for the 2-peat next year.
I try.
So what's in the work for you right now? What are you working on other than Heather Harper? Is that it right now?
Oh man, it's a bunch of new artists that I'm working with. Man, and it's just so many names. Like I don't even want to get into the names right now because I'm gonna forget somebody, not intentionally.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a whole lot of new artists that feel comfortable bringing their stuff to me. That it's their first time in the studio. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a lot of people that just hear my name over and over and over, and I was like, okay, I gotta check this guy out, whoever he is. And so a bunch of, like I said, new birthed artists is coming in and trying to find themselves in music, and they just feel comfortable around me. And I even have some people driving all the way from Dallas area, Austin, Texas, Palestine, you know. And it's really amazing. I'm blessed to be able to have that, I don't know, persona where people want to drive 2-3 hours.
Again, it goes back to that passion level that you have in helping other people.
Right.
That's hard to fake. You know?
Yes.
It's really, really hard to fake, and people know that.
Yes.
So, again, I mentioned that you worked with many, many different artists of all different genres. What is your favorite genre to work on?
Ooh, that is tough. I want to say the pop side, R&B. Really, Cheyenne has got me in this alternative rock thing going on that I'm really loving. Like, I never thought I was really capable of even touching that.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I couldn't tell her no for some reason. Mm-hmm. Like, I just felt like, well, let me just give it a shot because, no, it's not my forte. I haven't really touched this. But she brought something out of me that I didn't know I had inside of me. So,
and so, like, and that's the interesting thing from my standpoint too, because when I first heard about you, I thought you were strictly rap and hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, I thought you were the guy that was sitting there creating beats and selling them to rappers and all of that.
Yeah.
And boy, was I ever wrong. You know, I started seeing the pop stuff coming out from folks like Cheyenne, and there were others, you know, obviously over the last year that I've seen. And I was like, wait, this guy's actually, like, talented beyond just making beats. So it's cool to hear you say, you know, hey, let's try this alternative rock thing.
Yeah.
You want to open yourself up to new horizons.
Right.
Is that just a kind of a product of your own creativity or boredom, so to speak, of just wanting to not stay in the same box?
You know what? Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. You know, I've grew up around rap and hip hop and R&B all my life. You know, yeah, it's still cool.
Yeah.
You know, I still have a love for it, but you know, after a while, at least for me, I got, like you said, bored. You know, I was like, I know there's got to be something else I can do, something else I can branch myself out, because I was like, music is a huge thing. You know, it's not just rap and hip hop. That's just like a small portion of what's out there.
Right.
So, so I'm so thankful for the artists that's you know, kick me the butt and say you can do this kind of thing. And
is there any fear there, like self-fear, like, you know, somebody brings something to you and you're just like, whoa, man, like, I don't know if I can do that, and I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to undersell an artist that could have a better job done elsewhere. Right. There's got to be some fear involved.
Oh, yeah. Right? And it's funny you say that, because I used to send people off all the time. Like, they'll come to me and say, hey, I'd like to produce this country record with you or whatever. And I'd be like, well, I know there's a studio right up the street that can give you exactly what you need. I had no problem sending people elsewhere, and then I just had
and that was just based solely on fear.
Solely on fear. Solely on fear. I just had that fear. It's like, man, I don't want to mess with their baby, their music up, you know. And
how'd you overcome that then? Because I know that you're allowing some of these artists in now.
Now I'm getting more confident now because I've got a taste of it, and they're loving what I'm doing. Right. And so
how'd you get there?
How did I get there? But just by simply doing it. Yeah. Like Cheyenne and Heather, and a few others. Ashley and Peter. They're worship leaders at my church, and amazing people. They brought me into like the CCM, contemporary Christian music realm. Didn't think I was capable of that, recording the guitar. I mean, I watched YouTube videos, but Peter, the guy that played the guitar, is amazing at it, and he coached me kind of through it. And
you're blessed, man.
And I'm blessed. Yeah. I am totally blessed to be surrounded.
You know, I have been reading about you, and I know how important your faith is to you.
Yes.
I know that's a huge, a huge part of who you are.
Definitely.
Was that, like the music that was inbred in you at a young age, was that also something that was really, really part of your childhood? Because typically those go hand in hand, music and church, right?
Yeah, music and church, exactly. Yes, very, very much so. Much so, yes. Man, what can I say? That's a whole other story. But I grew up definitely in a Christian home. Church was a must, There was no ifs and buts about it. If I didn't go, then I'm getting in trouble. Actually, they didn't want that because I just felt like I had no choice. I'm just gonna go,
Yeah.
And so, but my parents and all my surrounding family saw that I could play drums. When I was very little in church, I would take my mom's pins and
just bang them
on the table, make beatbox noises with my mouth, and so all my family saw all that. I was like, man, you're going to be a drummer. And sure enough, I started picking up drums in church. And that's my first love is drums.
Yeah.
And,
well, when we're young, we are forced to go to church.
Yeah, right.
By our family,
right.
But over time, somewhere in there, you actually start enjoying going to church.
Right.
And it no longer becomes a requirement
Most
in
definitely.
your own mind.
Yes.
What was that movement like for you?
Just discovering who Jesus is, for myself. Yeah, my parents, I've heard about him all through my life. I was like, okay, if he's that great, he seemed like he's great to y'all, but who he is to me.
Right.
And so he's shown me himself in many, many ways. So many ways. And he told me that I was going to be a producer,
Wow.
It went in one ear out the other.
Yeah, of course. Always does it first.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
I was working at Walmart. I was like...
You ever notice that when Jesus first starts talking to you, it's really, really loud in your ears, and you don't listen. And you don't start listening until you can barely hear him.
Exactly.
You ever notice that?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. I've tuned God out so many times.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a strange thing. Man.
It is.
That's when you know the power of the Lord, man.
Most
It's when you can hear him the loudest when he's speaking the softest.
Ooh, powerful.
Straight up, man. Straight up. The reason why I wanted to talk about your faith is the rap and hip-hop game has a bad reputation. It has ever since it was created, about toxic lyrics, bad situations, because the experiences of the artists are typically from the hood or the ghetto or wherever.
Right.
I grew up in the hood. I'm a white guy that grew up in the hood, guys. I have that experience. So I can talk about this, I promise.
Right.
So as a Christian-based human being that is also a rap hip-hop producer, how do you balance that?
Oh, man.
Like, if somebody brings you lyrics that are really toxic, how do you balance that as a producer? How do you separate the two?
Oh, wow. That's a really, really good question.
Thank you.
I make it short and simple. I love people for who they are and not necessarily for what they do.
Right.
At the beginning, I've had this struggle with that, they got these horrible lyrics, and my faith, tells me, hey, that's not a good thing. You shouldn't do it,
Right.
But God clearly told me one day, he was like, if I gave you a restaurant, would you put a sign up there that said serving Christians only? And I was like, that's interesting, because no, I don't think you would have me put a sign up there that says serving Christians
you'd
only.
have a closed restaurant pretty quick, I imagine.
Exactly. Exactly. There would be no fruit,
Right.
And like I said, I just love people for who they are and their talent themselves. I try not to let that bother me, because it really doesn't, because everybody's got their own. Everybody has a different walk in life and how to express themselves.
Right.
What I might think is bad to me, to them, they're just expressing themselves.
Right.
And
better to be rapping about it than doing it.
Exactly.
Is that right?
And speaking of that, sorry, just blabbering.
It's okay.
But I've had rap artists, young rap artists, tell me, it's like, man, if I didn't have this music, I would be back on the streets, like smoking weed or cocaine or whatever, you know. And little things like that just brought me back home. Like man, you know, if I would have rejected all these wonderful, talented people away from where they at in life, then my business wouldn't flourish either, you know.
See, the thing is about Orlando Williams, guys, and this is another thing that I've heard from other people, not from the man himself, but from other folks, is that you have become kind of a de facto mentor and minister for people without even meaning to be.
Yeah.
Without even meaning to minister to folks and stuff like that. Just you being you has pulled people out of dark places.
Yes.
So I definitely wanted that to be part of the interview here because I know you would never speak about that yourself.
Yeah.
But the guy is a phenomenal, just faith-based human being way before all the talented things he can do with a beat and with instruments and all of that stuff. But this is what is being shared through your love not only of Christ but of music to other artists that are coming up under you. So I just wanted you to know the effect you're having on people.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
So congratulations on that. That's a huge accomplishment, way more than any award. I'm sure you agree.
Oh yeah, way more.
So we're here with Toby. Where are we at time-wise on the Audacity? 26-ish?
Yeah, 26-ish. We're at 26.
It's all in my head, dude. I can't see the TV.
That's crazy. You do it so many times. Wow.
So, guys, we are sitting here with Orlando Williams, the super producer of East Texas, the 2018 ETX Music Producer of the Year.
Yes, sir.
Just an incredible human, and we're blessed to have you here on the show.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you making the time today. I know we were trying to make this work, and
Yes, thank God.
you're a busy man. We're busy folks as well, and it's actually 8 p.m. on a Tuesday, so you make it work when you can make it work, guys.
Yeah.
But if people are somehow hearing about Orlando Williams for the first time, how do they follow along with you, and how can they get in contact with you to have music done?
Yes, you can contact me. Email is probably the most preferred. OW47000 @gmail.com.
So OW4700 @gmail.com.
Yeah, I could just say 4700.
Do you have social media pages as well? Website?
Yes. I'm in this whole stage of rebranding right now.
Okay.
But I do have a business Facebook page called Blacklight Studios. So
Okay.
Rename my studio Blacklight Studios.
Okay, and this is in Tyler, right?
Yes, this is in Tyler.
And so is there social media for that Blacklight
Yes,
Studios?
on Facebook. Yes.
Okay. Is there a web page as well?
Not yet.
Okay.
Actually.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll link the Facebook down in the description below.
Yes.
And it's OW4700 @gmail.com if you're an artist out there that would like to hook up with Orlando Williams. He does it all, guys, whether you're country, rock, anything. He's not afraid of you anymore.
Not
So
anymore.
come on, bring it, right?
Bring it.
Yeah. He is the producer of the year, by God. So he's ready for you. Make sure you're checking that out. All right, so again, we're here with Orlando. I'm going to give you the last word here.
Okay.
What is it you would like to say to people you've worked with, fans, etc., maybe the folks that voted for you for the award?
Yes.
This is your opportunity. You got a full audience there. Go ahead.
All right. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all the support, the love, putting up with me, for beating you clients up in the studio and pushing you beyond what you thought you could do. I have a deep love for y'all, and if it wasn't for y'all, of course I wouldn't have my award or whatever, but I wouldn't be who I am, really, you know. Y'all have really helped put the pieces together. All my family and friends, it's just too many to name. So just want to thank each and every one of you, even the people that don't like me. I still love you.
Haters are important, man.
Haters are definitely important.
Very, very important. I didn't know we made it as a show until we had haters. I was like, oh, yeah, we're in now. People don't like us for some reason.
Right.
Good stuff.
That means you're doing
That's
something
when
right.
you made it.
Because I've had people tell me, it's like, oh, you're not going to make it in producing, you know. You've got to do this, you got to do this. But God's blessed me to do this for a living for about 4 years. I haven't had to work.
And for those young people that might be watching out here or out there, Orlando is a perfect example of someone who is self-made, self-taught, self-motivated, which is really, really an important thing. If you're a young person, you can't expect motivation from outside of you. Yeah. You can't expect a label or a publishing company or a manager or whatever to step up to motivate you. Yes. If you want to make it, I hear it so many times, I want to make it. I want to be famous. I want to be successful. The only person that can make that happen is within you. So you have to find that person that's going to step up and tell you, get your ass moving.
Yep.
It's that simple.
That's simple.
And this is a guy that is self-motivated. If you wanted to learn something, you found where you needed to go to learn it. Yeah. You didn't say, hey, I need to find someone to teach me.
Because, boy, and actually, speaking of that, I want to say a special thank you to Josh Kofer, my cousin, because after he saw my talent, I would bring my beats to his studio to record with artists. And at that point, I fell in love with him recording, and he taught me a lot of that stuff too.
Cool.
And so I want to give a special thanks to him.
So shout out to Josh.
Yes, Josh Kofer.
Cool. All right, again, guys, this is episode 291 featuring the one and only Orlando Williams, finally here in the ETX Rocks living room. You can get in contact with Orlando once again at ow4700@gmail.com. It's Blacklight Studios on Facebook. Yeah. We'll put that in the description below. Get in contact with Orlando. He does amazing stuff. She's just looked at probably about 14 different episodes of artists that he's worked with on our show alone. Maybe we'll throw a couple of those in the description below as well. I know Cheyenne debuted a couple videos here on the show that you worked on. Yeah. So definitely. And also, today was the debut of Let's Go Someplace by Exalt that he produced, and yours truly was in that video.
The star.
They'll put anybody in a rap video nowadays, guys. I mean, anybody, I'm telling you right now. If they'll put me in a rap video, they will put anyone in a rap video. But that debuted today. You can find that on YouTube. It's Let's Go Someplace by Exalt. That's what you search for on YouTube. Let's get the likes on that video. Just hype through the roof. A great inspirational song. Really enjoyed my time doing that. Yes. If you're hearing about the ETX ROCKS Show for the first time, you can follow along with everything we have going on. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for @ETX ROCKS. Also, if you're listening on audio, we're also located on high definition video over there on the YouTube. One of us is good looking. That's that one.
Nah.
Just be prepared that it is high def, 720p. So yeah, for real. But while you're on the YouTube over there, just smash that subscribe button. And also, there's a little bell now that they're putting on YouTube. Yes. Apparently, you hit that bell to be notified. So do that as well. We have almost 1,600 videos on our YouTube. So if you're a music fan, our YouTube is the place to be. That's why I say we're the #1 resource for independent music in Northeast Texas.
Yes.
1,600 videos.
That says a lot.
And I've got another like 400 I haven't uploaded yet. Yeah. It's coming, so you might want to be notified when we're uploading stuff. It's really cool. It's a good way for you guys that are a fan of music to learn about new up-and-coming artists and legendary artists like Ronnie Millsap, Joe Nichols. All kinds of folks have been on the show. Mousequake's been on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Lee's about to be on the show.
What?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So smash that subscribe button. Important. Do it. Also, we are completely self-funded on the show, so we could use your help if you'd like to donate. We have a donate link set up over at www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And it's because of y'all's donations that we just launched a brand new website that's located at etxrocks.show. It's not a .com, it's .show. So check that out. And we have a live internet radio playlist right there, too. So a lot of folks will use the website just to listen to the radio. Because all the songs that are part of our playlist were all played here on the show. Wow. They're live performances from here on the show.
Sweet.
So it's really cool. Almost 600 songs in that playlist.
Wow.
Really, really blessed.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, please do, man. And a lot of your artists are in there. Heather's in there, Cheyenne's in there,
Yeah.
Zalt is in there.
Yeah.
All those folks.
Wow, definitely gotta check it out. Definitely.
And as we always say on the ETX Rock Show, we want to thank y'all out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't ever forget,
ETX rocks.
From the unknown to the stars, from the couch to the car, from the unheralded and the unheard, to the legends and beyond, it's where we all belong. Yes, this is where it all starts. From every genre, from every plane, this is where the music's played. So tune right in, won't you bring a friend? This is where it all begins. Welcome to the show, let the music flow of every style and creed. And you can bet your socks that ETX rocks, ETX rocks.